So everybody just watched Pam Bondi in the Senate committee as she's getting questioned, sort of put on probably the worst, unintelligent, disastrous performance of all time, right? If they asked her a hard question, she pivoted and she attacked. If they asked her to acknowledge the 30 survivors sitting behind her, she literally, at one point, I don't know, did she cover her eyes? You can't see me? She ignored all of it. And every time they asked her to answer a straight yes or no question, she diverted and she gaslit and she did whatever she could possibly do. And she did it so incredibly poorly that the right, a lot of podcasters, a lot of politicians, they're all calling for her resignation. First and foremost, this is probably the clearest example of sexism in politics I've ever seen. Ever. Here's why. Everybody in his administration, from Hegseth to Kash Patel, to Donald Trump himself, are unintelligent, embarrassing, gaslighting, diversionary tactic, dangle this over here and say something like this over here, refusal to answer a question. If they do answer a question, it can be a straight up lie that they will later take no credit for and say they never said it. Why is she the only one being called to resign? Donald Trump has done what she did so many times, I expect nothing less. I know exactly what he's going to say, how he's going to divert, how he's going to yell at reporters about not smiling enough, sweetheart. How is it that the right is simply just going after Pam Bondi? I am not arguing you shouldn't go after Pam Bondi. I am saying they are all a part of the same machine. The embarrassing, the unintelligent, the incompetent machine. And Trump chose them that way. He chose them to be loyal. He chose them to be deferent. He chose them to get on their knees, and man, did on their knees they get. Why? Because he can't lead with intelligence. He can't lead with brilliant thoughts about the future. So he leads with choosing people that are embarrassing, more embarrassing possibly even than him, but that's really a tough comparison. He chooses people that he can manipulate, he can hold down, and he can make go through the fire for him, right? And then later, when he wants to, maybe fire them, maybe not, maybe deny the entire thing. It's the entire administration. There's not a single person on this app that can bring up Donald Trump speaking intelligently about anything ever. His diversionary and distraction tactics are probably somewhat of absolute infamous morons. That's who he is. And the mere fact the right is calling for Pam Bondi's resignation, when I remember Kash Patel going, there's nothing in the Epstein files. There's absolutely nothing. When Donald Trump said it was a hoax, a Democratic hoax, and nothing existed, I have a question, and I'm going to leave it on this. If Donald Trump made that call into the FBI, warning them about Epstein, saying what a disgusting individual he was, saying you better go arrest him, I'm going to give you all the information. Why, so long later, he stands in front of the American people and the world today and says, it's a Democratic hoax. Ignore it. It's distraction. It's all made up. At which point was he lying? And anybody that still stands with that man, you are embarrassing. Either you're so painfully unintelligent, you should have a caretaker year round, or you've decided that you think this administration's going to serve your personal interest, which, by the way, most of Americans, it's not, you bucketheads, or you don't care if it serves you as long as it threatens and as long as it attacks individuals that you have deemed unworthy, that you have deemed inferior. Take a look in the mirror, because if you're not coming down on the side of history you should be real clear. I was just following orders. Didn't work for that last group of people, did it?